welcome to this week's Arrow After Show. I am Kaori Takee, and I've got some lovely people around me. Let me introduce everyone real quick. We've got Michael right here.
Hello, everybody. I am the true son of the demon.
In color. Much color. And next to him, Ann.
Hey, everybody. I am a true warrior.
You're also one thing, but I'm one thing, so I'm a little confused. And then next to me, I've got David.
When Ra's al Ghul commands you to marry Nyssa, his daughter, you do not have this whoa look on your face. You have a smile on your face because that is a great marriage.
That is
Who
a
would not want to
win.
be married to the lovely Katrina Law?
I kind of really enjoyed that twist. I think that was really cool.
too.
So all through the week and also right now, you can send us a tweet at #ArrowAfterShow. That is the way you can send your questions and your comments, and that's the way to get us to read your questions online. We are going to be answering them later on during the show, but what we're going to do right now is go over our positives and some of our negatives. But overall thoughts of the show, what do you guys think?
I liked it. I thought it was solid. Again, we talked about this last week. They're getting ready for the season, the season finale. Starting to ramp up a little bit. A lot of twists at the end, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, all right.
I felt like the first 30 minutes, well, I don't know how long the show is, but the first half was a little slow for me. It dragged just a little bit. The pacing was slow, but then it picked up right away. Yeah, I have a lot to say about this episode.
Yeah, I agree. There was definitely a lot to say about this episode. This is Wakame, by the way. She says, "What's up?" She watched
Huge
the show
Arrow
with us.
fan.
Yeah, she's a huge Arrow
mascot.
fan. So Wakame and I thought that the show was a good show, especially towards the end. I thought it was great. There's a lot of cheesiness in it, but there's a lot of reveals that I really appreciated as well. So.
Yeah.
I thought it was hashtag Team Laurel this week. I was very happy about the whole Nyssa Laurel relationship. And
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
so if you have some questions about that coming up, I'm going to be happy to answer those questions. But that was exciting. I kind of enjoyed that. Laurel happy I'm happy with Laurel being happy. Like with the old thing with Cisco a week or so
I
ago.
just want you to be happy.
Laurel
Yeah,
is your
I don't like Laurel being all
so
dark
cute.
and everything. I like her being happy.
I think I realized that Laurel is to you what Roy is to me.
Oh.
I think that's what it is.
I don't know if I'm that into her.
Too late.
Too late.
Too late.
I don't do the whole stalking at Target thing.
What do you mean if she was in LA?
I was saying if she was in LA, I don't know if I'd stalk her.
I think you might.
Maybe I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I would. That's true.
All right, well, why don't we start talking about the positive? You were talking about Laurel, and that's one of your positives, I'm guessing. Right?
Yeah, I liked Laurel. Laurel introducing Nyssa to some milkshakes. Black and white specifically. That was nice. Get
unity
some French
shake.
fries in the milkshakes, and that was nice. I mean, they're cute together. They're playful until, of course, like, oh, and by the way, Oliver has assumed the mantle of heir to the demon. By the way, while we're having our burgers.
By the way,
just
don't
let
take
you
a
know
bite before you even try your first American hamburger. Let me tell you this very important piece of
Surprise.
news.
They
Yeah.
have the worst timing on the show when it comes to not, just the way they do it. It's funny, like the way they deliver bad news.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, by the way, I should have told you this earlier.
I like their relationship, and I like the fact that Nyssa really trains Laurel, and it makes it a lot more believable that Laurel is kind of where she is now. Although the whole fighting 2 League of Assassin members and couldn't beat one guy at one hoodlum was kind of awkward turtle. But that being said, they kind of bounce off each other, and I think Laurel also learns and teaches Nyssa how to kind of be more human.
Well, plus we also got to see her, the canary cry.
Yeah.
Finally got to see
This is
Cisco put that
right,
thing together.
What do you guys think of that?
It was okay. I mean, it's very much like the comic books. It's just, I would have liked, I don't know, it would have been over the top, but like a little effect or something would have been kind of cool.
Yes, I think that's exactly what I was looking for because she just
Yeah.
stood there with an open mouth and then you hear the noise and it just didn't match. It's like when someone's talking and the audio's off a little bit. That's what it felt
I
like.
could just imagine freezing that and just insert meme here. You know?
Yeah. Any other positive?
Also, too, John Barrowman, Malcolm Merlyn himself is back in the game, but we do not know in what capacity.
Yes.
We just have this, he's saying, what do you need from me? And, talking to Speedy there, so we don't know what that's going to mean. I'm excited to see anytime John Barrowman's in a scene, it's always awesome. Malcolm Merlyn is a great character, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
That's funny because that's actually kind of in my negatives. Not that he was there, but that he asked, what do you want me to do? And then we don't really know how he helps her. Except
will.
that the end
It will
result,
be revealed.
she looks
All
badass. Yeah.
revealed.
I think the problem
Patience.
is we like him so much that we kind of want to see him more. It's such a tease to see him for about 30 seconds in every episode, because every time he's in the scene, he pretty much steals it. At least that's how
He's
I
a great
feel.
actor, great character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I would pay for him to sit down, stare at me, and tell me, "And you're a warrior," like how he told Thea. I
Yeah.
was like, "Yes,
Yes.
please do that
Makes
with
you
me
believe
too."
it.
Some mornings you
believe
just
it.
need
Such
that
a good
motivation.
motivation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some of my positives, I would say there's a lot of positives in the episode. One of them is I actually like this. I like to love or love to hate this twist at the end where Oliver has to marry Nyssa.
Yeah.
I really think that's really cool. It's a great way to unify them and cause problems and issues, and it just adds a nice little kink.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
First of all,
too.
I think we all kind of figured he wasn't really gonna kill her. Something was gonna happen. But yeah, that marriage, I was like, what? I had the same look that Oliver had.
Oliver's like,
They look so unhappy.
they should be so happy.
I guess I'll marry Nyssa.
Inside,
Yeah.
he's like, "Yes."
Yeah. And I also like Thea a lot in this episode. I think she really stepped up her game.
Yep.
No one wanted to, they allowed her to mourn, but they didn't want her to join their clan. But she's like, no, I'm gonna make this happen. And so she comes out with this super cute outfit.
Super cute.
I mean,
And badass at the same
I
time.
mean, much better than Canary's outfit,
Yeah.
which I personally don't really
I'm
like.
still not a fan of that outfit.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that she's just really starting to use like the skills that she learned from her father, and I like that. So.
I do have a little negative, but I'll get to that shortly.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so me?
Yeah, why not?
So I love Diggle and Lila in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I particularly liked Diggle's reaction to Lila being kidnapped and taken by
Yes.
Sah-Him. That was really powerful scene where he's just screaming at Nyssa, like,
Mm-hmm.
turn yourself in. I love that. And then at the same time, Lila was really badass in that one
Yeah.
scene where she just took the
Yes.
2 guns and shot the
Yeah.
2 League members. That
Very
was so
Lara
cool.
Croft-like.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so
I
cool.
want to see more of her.
Anytime we get to step in the Diggle household, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Always a
You
good
see
time.
the
Got to see a
baby,
little
make sure
baby.
it's always worried about who's taking care of that baby, you know. So,
Yeah.
well, I guess what's her? She left her job, right? So at
Yeah.
Argus, so
Yeah.
she has time to raise a kid now.
Time now.
Yeah, that's good.
But was anyone else freaked out like at the beginning when Diggle got stabbed?
Yeah.
I did too, but then this guy, the voice of reason, was like, look guys,
It's got it.
it's not real.
It had to be like
Diggle.
But
something.
I thought it was real for a second that when Oliver almost killed him when Thea came to the rescue, I thought it was very possible to lose Diggle in this episode. That's how scary it was.
Can you imagine though?
I
Losing
know.
Diggle?
It's crazy.
Oliver always got like a nice kind of way out of it. Like when he's about to kill this, he's like,
Something.
Ray stop, like and then he always kind of had to stop. He never got to
So
see him go
convenient.
through with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Except for the beginning, except for the first guy.
Yeah. Any other positives?
I would say that for me, the flashbacks were a bit better than they have been in this episode, maybe because there was a little more action. There's a lot going on with them trying to save the people from whatever that vaccine,
Yeah.
or whatever fake vaccine is. So I thought that has picked up quite a bit. And then to see what we knew what was going to happen with Aikido, but to finally kind of see it happen
Yeah.
was kind of sad too. But that made the flashback interesting, and it actually made it of value to present day too.
Sure.
But you don't know yet, right? I mean, because maybe he doesn't die. Maybe he gets taken to a Lazarus pit. Or maybe he does die and goes to a Lazarus pit.
think they-
Maybe that's how Maceo
Yeah.
ends up in his debt. Starts working for him. Maybe. I don't know.
Ooh,
Yeah,
good
I mean,
theory.
there's a lot of twists, but I hope that it comes to a point where, like, the whole backstory, no matter how slow it's been this season, just culminates to something that makes a lot of sense. And-
Yes.
We'll
Well,
also
it
see
has to.
more of the whole, like Christopher Nolan's, like Batman Begins with, Ra's al Ghul and the, League of
lot of
Assassins
Batman
wiping
in
out
this.
cities, mentioning like cholera and plagues that they used to do back in the day. This is a new version of that, and how like Gotham needs to be cleansed and reborn. So it had a lot of that kind of Batman overtones. I mean,
Yeah,
ever
it's
since
true.
Ray showed up, there's always been Batman overtones.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
And the
much.
whole
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Some of your positives.
My positives. All right. Well, if David is hashtag Team Laurel, you better believe I'm hashtag Team Nyssa. I am the president of that fan club. You had best believe.
she is pretty banging.
Yeah, she is. Serena Law.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. No, I mean, again, any episode of Nyssa in it, she's just a great character. She's a great actress. She's fun to watch. I'm still hoping that there's a little badass in her. I don't necessarily want her and Laura to be besties. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of badass
so
in
cute,
her
though.
still.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, but that's just what we're like. Even the French fry, like, what is this? This is too much more oil than potato.
That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind fun moments, but just don't go too far with a character like Nyssa.
We talk about
Okay.
Nyssa's where she's living. Where is that location? Like, where
know.
did she pay rent? I mean,
No,
was
She
I
has
don't think so.
electricity at least.
she does
So
have
we know she has
electricity.
that,
It does have
you know,
power there.
like a
Yeah,
dad.
a little cot there, a
She'd
little nice
be-
little loft, you know? I
She'd
mean,
be getting ripped off if she was paying rent for that.
yeah.
I'm just thinking like how nice Nanda Parbat is, and how could you leave such luxury
Right.
to go to this
A little bit
Dexter type looking thing, you know?
Imagine she'd have some money or something, maybe get herself a nice
She
little
was
place.
running away
or-
with
I'm sure Rach has good credit. He's been around for a while. He's got some good credit.
But I will say Nyssa has always been a very complex and really deep character. I mean, she's struggled being the daughter of the demon and then trying to find kind of what she thinks is right in her own mind. And that's part of the reason why at the end where we discover that she was hiding that vial in her sword.
Yeah.
You would think that if that's what really they were after, I mean, I'm just thinking about this right now, she could have hit it somewhere crazy somewhere in Starling City instead of really close to her.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
that's the way the
she's
story
lit,
goes,
I
you
guess.
know? Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Any other positives?
I'm just gonna piggyback you, Layla. Layla? Yeah, Layla.
Lila?
Lila.
Sorry, Lila. She was amazing, and it's like watching her in this. I'm like, and then going back to watching the Suicide Squad episode, I'm like, why don't we see more of her? She's really like, she'd be a valuable asset to this team. She's really good. So yeah, why not use her more? I love her.
Yeah, I like her too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good to see her. And the baby, we got to see a lot more of the
baby.
baby, which was
Little
cool.
Sarah.
Little Sarah looking all cutesy. All right, so let's talk about some of our negatives. Let's go backwards.
All right, let's start with me. Okay, my negatives. I love Thea. I love everything about Thea. She's really progressed well as a character. My issue is this. I think David and I, we kind of already knew, all right, well, based on just like recent events in the DC universe, you go into the Lazarus Pit, you might get a little cuckoo, right? It was even said, Merlyn said that she'd come back a little, not quite the same. Well, she was not quite the same for like a good, 30 minutes or something like that. That's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. So I
Yeah.
was really hoping that maybe something was wrong. There's something that could add even more depth to this character. Like maybe she was hiding something from the rest of the team that she's, she's still a little touched maybe. So, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, I guess.
completely agree with you. That was actually also one of my negatives, even though she's also one of my positives. Is
Yeah.
there needs to be a twist, you know,
Yeah.
maybe that she's becoming more braver and stronger, but then there needs to be a twist where it frightens us that she
Yeah.
has all this power.
Because it just comes across as being a little too convenient. Like when she comes to save the day at the end and everything is just all, swell and dandy. It shouldn't be that perfect, right?
Well, and then when we had the Mirakuru, the effects of that lasted forever. So I
Yeah.
mean, I'm hoping with you guys that we'll see something down the line where
Yeah.
it's a little twist to
Yep.
the effects of the Lazarus
Absolutely.
Pit.
Another negative, flashbacks were better. Still, I feel like they take me out of the episode.
Yeah.
They still do it. I mean, it was much better. I guess we get to see a little bit more of like their son and what's going on and all this stuff. Nonetheless, I'm just, it doesn't do it for me.
You took my other negative, man.
Sorry.
Do you want to switch?
I'm just like picking your brain and just taking everything.
Okay,
Great
so
minds.
my
That's what
name
it
is
is.
Michael Alexis Medina, and anyway, all right, Ann, go ahead.
I would say for this episode, one thing that I can sometimes do during some of the episodes, and sometimes it bothers me, is suspending belief. And so the reason I say that is because there's one particular scene that all of us kind of looked at each other
Oh, yeah.
when Oliver Sah-Him decides to just hop off the building, and it's just like he's gone.
It wasn't even hop off. It was like he was walking. Bye. It just like
Well,
dropped.
It's just like we were talking about like a few episodes back when Thea jumps off the balcony. It's like, okay, well, where did she land?
Yeah, where did they go?
How high are they?
Yeah.
Because Batman does it, but Batman has a grappling hook.
Yeah. So he probably has like the bat jet like
Yeah,
waiting
yeah,
underneath that he can
exactly,
land onto. Albert didn't have that. Like, what was he?
Or Batman at least has a cape. Yeah.
He can glide.
Also, he
Yeah.
doesn't have anything.
And there were
No.
just a few moments like that in the episode where I was like, I don't like, you're talking about where Nyssa lives. I just,
Yeah.
and how
She couldn't get a hotel.
yeah,
Couldn't move in with
exactly.
Thea, maybe.
And how
something.
every time the league visits, there's a warehouse set up with their stuff ready to go. I just
Planes
don't get
ready to
it.
go. Although we did finally see someone actually use the door to enter anything.
yes,
Period.
yes.
Just
True.
anything. Someone knocked on the door. Like, whoa.
It normally just appears from the corner, but he actually knocked and
Yeah.
came in. I was like, oh wow. That's
And again, we've let it go, but this time it was so noticeable because he comes out of the dark corner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was my only thing, was just like those kind of threw
Fair
me
enough.
out of the episode, but not
Yeah.
too bad.
Just small things, All right. Well, he stole mine, so.
Yeah, it's hard. I really like this episode. I've liked Arrow over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's gotten a lot stronger, a lot more focused. We always compare it to to Flash, and Flash has been really exciting, I think, throughout. But these last few episodes have been really good. I'm happy where the show's going. I don't really have a lot of negatives. I think they just they break news in a bad way. They break news at the wrong time. Advice if you're ever having dinner with somebody and you're about to eat, don't break the bad news right before they take their first bite.
Yeah.
Let them at least enjoy the meal first, then break the bad news.
Did that not happen on the last episode of Flash too? Where they had the pizza and they all left.
Yeah, it's like, we got it. Because he went all the way to Coast City, wasn't it?
So rude.
He went to Coast City, got the
rude.
pizza, and then he said the bad news. They're like, we got to go. But I think one of the characters actually took a whole pizza with him.
Oh, good.
As they should.
At
But
least.
to piggyback what you're talking about, this season, kind of finishing up stronger. This has been an interesting season. It's been really up and down, and I think I think that the writers knew that there's a lot going on, a lot of characters. I think this is their way of trying to kind of find their way to kind of like, keep the story going while, introducing new characters for the spin-offs and things like that. But now that guys like Roy's taken off, Ray's taken off, they can kind of focus and tell a good story and finish on a high note.
Yeah,
point.
but that being said, I do kind of miss those characters' development. I guess we'll see them in other areas, but I miss Roy, I even miss Ray.
Yeah.
And Felicity, too. I'm missing her strength. She's not really this Felicity. I know she's broken, going through a lot of stuff. I know I said this last week, but I'm really missing the Felicity Smoak that I fell in love with.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping ultimately, like, season 2 is probably my favorite so far to date. So hopefully now that they can streamline the team, find a good, proper role for Thea, I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully
honestly,
next season.
sorry, but if you asked me at the beginning of the season where they would end up at the end of the season,
Yeah.
I would have had no idea.
Oh, I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah?
Oh, and Kaori, good news for you.
What?
Thea has Roy's address. So we know where she's going.
Thea equals not Kaori, so I don't know.
You have to
Can
live
she slip it
vicariously
over?
through her adventures.
I know. I'll just watch her and I'll put my face on her.
We'll put a tracker on there and we'll figure it out.
Creepy.
Putting trackers, I just have to say this. It's so cliche. Oh, it's fine, whatever. It's not a big deal or anything, but it's so cliche. Like we saw this on Flash. Sisko's like, I put a tracker on Harrison's wheelchair.
Yeah,
Is that easy? Laurel puts a tracker. It's like, it's so cliche in like movies and TVs. Just toss a tracker or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm like, I think Nyssa, if she can tell that guy had 2 knives from way far away, she could probably tell what she got a tracker on put on.
I'm just
her,
saying, but whatever.
That's fine. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about this episode?
No, pretty good, pretty solid episode.
All
Like it.
right. Well, let's move on to viewer questions. And you guys can also send over your questions and comments at #ArrowAfterShow all week long and all throughout. So let's get some questions in, Ann.
All right, so the first question comes from Lanting Jack, who asks, do you think Ollie will cleanse his brainwashing by himself and realize what he has done, or a physical process?
I don't think it's going to be by himself.
And I don't think it's going to be that easy.
No, it's not going to be easy. And I just hope they don't do anything cheesy. Like, I was joking around watching an episode like The Power of Love or Friendship or something. It needs to be something a little bit more, something a little deeper. And I'm sure they'll do it. Because, I mean, I'm thinking maybe Diggle, because he always is the voice
He'll
of
come with a
reason.
good talk. He'll have a good talk.
Sitting down,
And then that's something else I wanted to point out, that even though Felicity has kind of like weakened in character, Diggle has remained constantly strong.
Yeah.
So just saying.
He's the rock of the team.
Yeah, he really is. I think that maybe Nyssa might want to help him, because helping him is kind of helping her, right? Because she's
They're gonna get married, so they gotta have some talks. They gotta, communication is the key to a good relationship.
That it is.
So
Yeah.
hopefully there'll be some communication.
That's so funny, because even in his normal state, he pretty much hates her. So it's just oddest coupling ever.
That looks on their faces after
great.
like
That'd make a
Grace
great
walks
reality
away.
show.
They're just
Right.
like,
Oliver and Nyssa.
And how awkward is the triangle? I mean, she was with Sarah, he was with Sarah. Now they're gonna, it's a little weird. All right, next question comes from No Choice to Make, who asks, did you feel that was a hint of Oliver Queen we saw when Roz dropped the wedding plan?
I felt like for a second, but it quickly turned back into Sah-Him, and I think he's gone. He's really good. Oliver Queen is really good at acting like he's gone.
I think there's still a little Oliver in him. I think he's still struggling with the face. Because, I mean, I don't know how much time has actually passed. You know what I mean? And again, it's like,
He said 3 weeks.
Was it 3
It
weeks?
doesn't seem
Okay.
that long. Doesn't seem that long at all.
No, yeah. I mean, I think he's brainwashed, but I mean, we've seen this in movies and TV shows where, you know what I mean, somebody's brainwashed, but there's always a little something, little chunk of them left, you know.
So it's like a Luke and Vader. I know there's still good in him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Emperor hasn't
So,
taken from it fully. You know.
I think there's still a little Oliver in there.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I think at least as a viewer, I'm hanging on to the idea that
Exactly.
there's still a piece of him there that's going to switch at some point.
But I don't think he's gonna switch all on his own. I think he's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna have.
Because I really don't want to see this arc end. I want this to go into next season. Or the
Yeah.
next, I don't want to just. I mean, it's
Good.
only been a couple episodes and only 2 episodes left. I don't want to see this
Right.
end and then just go away.
Agreed.
And I mean, how long did Roy lay on that bed when they tried to cure him of the Mirakuru?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think this at least warrants it to last for a while, like you're saying, David.
Absolutely.
All right, the next question comes from Jalen Giddens, who asked, "You think Nyssa and Oliver will bang?"
That guy get right to it. Man.
Okay,
Right to it.
well,
I like him.
Well, at least, you know, take her out to dinner. You know what I mean? Maybe a movie, get to know each other.
but
So
they
you can
don't
have a
like each
hamburger?
other, so I mean, they can have awfully good sex if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense,
Right?
actually. That makes perfect sense.
I think Roz, that's what he's hoping for, is
He
a
wants
little
to see a baby.
grandchild,
He
He's not
right?
the baby. That's all he wants.
Batman
Yeah.
fans, maybe we'll get Damien. He's coming.
It's true.
He's coming.
Walkaway wants to see them bang too.
I think I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think it is either.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No.
I'm not really too.
If it does,
sure.
it won't be as romantic as the Felicity.
Not gonna
No.
lie, I would be okay if they banged. I thought I as long as the scene isn't elongated the way it was with Felicity and Oliver. Like, okay, come on, turn to black, turn to black, turn to black. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, Oliver already has one kid.
Yeah, it
Who's
does.
to say they can't have
What's
another?
one more?
What's yeah?
All right, next question comes from Sadia3, who asks, "Who is Damien Dark? Is it possible that he is Felicity's father?"
Oh, we were just talking
question.
about that
Sure.
before this episode.
I think
as a
it's
matter of fact.
very possible. Damien Dark is a character that's from the New 52. He's not from the New 52, but he's fairly new. I think he was created like around 99, 2000. He's associated with Hive. We have heard
is.
hints of Hive. He's also a computer web, kind of geeky kind of guy. So he's very intelligent, very smart. He could be Felicity's dad. It would make sense. Maybe he's been floating around and, he came across Felicity's mom, yada, yada. That happened. Felicity was born, and maybe I think that's actually that's a very good question. I think that's very possible. And a
Yeah.
good storyline.
Yeah, I can't imagine they would mention this character just for no reason.
As an Easter egg?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know they are really good at like Easter eggs, them and Flash, so it could just be that, but I think there's more to it than just,
I agree.
dropping.
Yeah, me too.
I think we're gonna see him sometime
Yeah,
at some point.
probably next season. I don't think they'd
Yeah.
rush into that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys again for tuning in right here to the Arrow After Show here on the stream.tv. Again, continue to send your questions and your comments all week long at #Arrow After Show. In the meantime, you can follow us as individuals. We're at,
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Michael Alexis. You can also find David and myself right here on the stream.tv on 3 Minute Warning. Also, David and myself on YouTube at Think Hero Pro.
very nice. And
You guys can follow me at Ann Campea on all the various social media networks, and Corey and I at Team Amazing on YouTube, Instagram. We do cool, geeky videos.
we do, and we reached 5K. I know that's like huge for us. It is.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And where can we find you, David?
Everything's been named. I am David Griffin. You can find me at GriffinDE on Twitter.
And Dave is a great cook, by the way. You cooked us some really
That
good.
he is.
I did,
That he
yes,
is.
I did,
Chef
yeah.
David.
So ladies,
Ladies,
if you want his
ladies.
address.
Oh, we won't be giving that out on here.
Placing the address right here and
Right here.
telephone number.
Right here.
Please do not put that on there. It's so graphic on there.
I'm just. What if it's Laurel? What if she's
Oh, my
watching?
goodness.
Katie
Katie Cassidy
Cassidy.
came over.
All right, and you can follow me as well as Walkmay right here at KAORIOUS on Twitter, as well as Instagram and all the various social networks, and Ann and I at Team Amazing. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, comment right here on the stream.tv. There's various after shows that you guys should go ahead and check out. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week. Hey guys, for more of the Arrow After Show and other great after shows, click on subscribe for the stream.tv.